The UN Security Council voted late Sunday night for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. And President Obama is pressuring Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to end the fighting. The battle on the ground has slowed, but there's still no end in sight to the war. Here's Chris Mitchell from Tel Aviv.
While diplomatic efforts go on, Israeli combat engineers continue to discover and destroy the vast network of Hamas terror tunnels. Israel sees these tunnels as an enormous threat to its population. One tunnel started from underneath the Wafa hospital in Gaza, and several came from the neighborhood of Sajaiya, the scene of some of the heaviest fighting. In the past 2 weeks, Hamas terrorists made several infiltrations into Israel using these terror tunnels. And Israel announced Hamas prisoners told of a mega terror event planned for the Jewish New Year. About 200 Hamas terrorists plan to kill and kidnap hundreds of Israelis along the Israeli-Gaza border. Hamas says the death toll climbed to more than 1,000 Palestinians. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu laid the blame on Hamas for the deaths.
Hamas is responsible for these civilian deaths. Hamas is not only trying to kill our people, it's sacrificing its own people, quite willfully, deliberately, cynically, and horribly. They are using their people as human shields.
So far, more than 40 Israeli soldiers have died in the fighting, and dozens have been wounded. Some of the wounded came here to the Sheba Medical Center in Tel Aviv. They came from the front lines and brought with them stories of intense fighting and how Hamas is using women and children as human shields.
My friends said a terrorist hid behind a little girl and shot at them, and they couldn't fire back because they didn't want to kill the little girl. They waited until one of the group succeeded to kill him. They shot him in the head.
Other soldiers faced terrorists using women as human shields.
And they hesitated, and this hesitation cost some of the soldiers their life, and some of the soldiers they got injured because they were surprised to see the women, and behind them came terrorists with machine guns and started to fire.
It remains to be seen how far the war will go on, but Israel would like to see the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip as one of the lasting goals of Operation Protective Edge. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Tel Aviv.